Alright guys, what's up and welcome to the fourth episode now of Overview. This is gonna be our second game against Sanguine in the spring split, and with me is again my lovely co-commentator, my coach, my favorite coach, Mr. Hayzer. What is going on, man?
Oh, I'm your favorite coach. Oh, it means so much. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. And we see a little 2v2 fight. Us fighting 2v2 in duo lane at the start of the game. I think that's happened in all four games that we've watched so far.
And we've won all
Uh,
four games.
oh no, actually, some of them were 2v1 when the support decided to get on the
Oh
other side
yeah.
of the map. But
Oh
you know,
yeah. And this is actually, let's just mention that real fast. This is the Jeb jungle game. Obviously, he got a lot of hate. This time the support is gonna start in the dual lane, but we just want to point out that the reason why they go Jeb jungle is not to troll. It's obviously worked out for them in scrims, and that's why they do it. So what happens here in mid?
so
SD.
obviously we have Zeus Rat get pressure. They only have one person in mid, so we're definitely going to be able to take away that speed buff. And it looks like they started with the Geb jungle in solo lane. That looks a bit confusing. Seems to have a Fafnir as well. But yeah. Oh, this is a bit silly by us. Looking for the invade on the red when the Poseidon's rotating out. I wonder if you end up going down here. You
Nah,
should.
I'm gonna live, but I made a silly decision there. I decided I'm gonna go ahead and fight these guys, so I quickly swapped into my damage stance, pressed my 2, and then just started chunking down the Uller. Luckily, we do survive though, and we get the smalls as we came for, and nothing really happens at all.
Yeah, if we'd lost the smalls there, I think we definitely would have died.
Yeah,
But as it was,
definitely.
we expended two actives for small camps on buff, which means it's pretty bad for us. And we see per maniac loses his blue buff again. We really don't give enough respect with that blue buff, but he's chilling.
This is
Prime decides to rotate over and help with this red buff invade, and that's pretty much all because we decided to sack that blue buff on the other side of the map. We were able to send our jungler over with Prime to push out the mid wave and go for that red, and they can't really contest, seeing as their jungler is still on the other side of the map.
yeah. So we're gonna just pretty big lead for us. We got like one.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Okay,
That,
maniac.
that was a close one from a Portuguese powerhouse. He almost getting soloed by D Dodo, but we got their speed and their blue. Got their red. Sadly not the purple. But we just have such a big lead again. Not in this soul lane, but just on the other side of the map. It's really huge. As you see. Oh my god, he's almost getting soloed, man. No bueno.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. I'm surprised Dodo didn't pick up a solo kill off of that lead, but Maniac played that fairly well, apart from managing to get himself pulled twice. He played out of it well. As we see us just picking up farm all over the map, wherever we can get it, we're just going for it, pushing out the mid waves, grabbing the backs. That's something that is definitely something you should always consider when you're going back to dual lane, especially I think whether or not you can farm those backs without losing too many creeps to the tower. It's not really worth it if you lose more than 2 creeps. But as it was, they were able to farm it just as the waves kind of met in the middle of the lane, which I would say is a good kind of barometer to decide whether or not you should go for those backs.
So as it looks like there's gonna be gank here this all lane, I wonder if he's gonna sniff this one out actually.
I remember this. Fisher screwed up really badly, so he had some
Oh
there.
no.
He had ult. He could have stopped the roll and just killed Maniac. Maniac was dead there. He was dead. But the Gab jungle, again, I'd like to reiterate the fact that this isn't a troll pick. There's no way they just did it out of nowhere. And there we see the damage that does come out of it. If you
It's
do
actually
do
quite a
that,
bit, like 60% damage, but the T is just the bad part about the Jep. Like you just get picked off and he's gonna die, spend maybe one too much aiming ult into that guy, but again, short cooldown, just get in cooldown, then we're gonna go ahead and invade, realize, okay, the 5 is level, not even level 5, we can probably just do this for free, as he's gonna try and stop us without his hammer, I don't know. So we're just gonna go ahead, pick up the speed, considering going for the blue, but since Herc is like kind of that fat guy right now, there's no real reason to get in that position at all. Let's go back, get our speed, we got the win, take the win, get something from it, and then make sure you back out. And again, this
yeah,
is
there's us using the med.
yeah.
We use the med there just to make sure everyone's healthy. We're able to keep farming up.
Mhm.
If people don't have a good back at the time, it's nice to be able to, just med up, heal up your health and mana. And we see Twig pressure solo. I'm not sure he's able to kill the Hurt here. Yeah, I didn't think so.
He gets
Uh,
out.
the Geb jungle's there to provide that peel that it can provide. It goes for the roll again. I'm not really sure to be, try and give everybody the benefit of the doubt, but the way Fisher played the Geb jungle made me think
Yeah,
may,
that was a bit
maybe it
rough.
wasn't ready for competitive.
Yeah. Obviously, the scrim environment is a completely different than the competitive. You can draw a lot of parallels, but when it comes down, like I don't know, and this was just Nika helping us out with the purple buff, and again, it's just the pressure, like us knowing, okay, Jeb is on the other side of the map, Poseidon can't really come over, we have no ice and Fafnir, we can probably just go ahead and then steal away the jungle again, and we're just gonna do it. Like worst case, we're gonna have a red flying over, with a bit of a delayed rotation, and hopefully still get a decent fight out of it. We have a lot of survivability around Amaterasu. At least they're gonna have a really hard time catching either of us.
Yeah, so here I actually would have liked to see you rotate over to those duo side mids instead of going back into lane. But I suppose we do still have purple and red to spawn. But again, I like prioritizing the neutral farm. We're going to get that farm in the
Mm-hmm.
lane anyway. But I feel like the neutral buffs are, the most important thing on the map. And I think we do, yeah, we end up losing these mid harpies because of it. So that's another tiny little minuscule mini misplay. How many M words can you fit in one sentence? But yeah, we end up picking up the red buff. We put that over to Twig because after we stole their speed. There's no sense in refreshing a speed buff, 20 seconds after you pick it up. It's much better to give that to Prime and allow him to, have a bit more maneuverability on the Zeus with no movement skills. So I think this is where Prime
Oh
dies.
yeah,
Yeah, I
Prime actually
remember
dies
this.
here. It is called that they're missing. He doesn't get his Aegis off and just dies, sadly. As I get a nice Facebook pop up from my mom. Shout out to her. Please don't go and stalk her. Um, yeah, let's just move on with the game.
So yeah, something that's kind of interesting to bring up there, I guess, is the starting the Aegis versus the beads. So versus Poseidon, a lot of players will think, we go for the Aegis, nice. It'll help me survive through the Kraken, but something which is going to happen a lot in a competitive environment
Oh,
if you
this
do pick
Hayzer.
up,
Do you
oh,
remember this?
the bait. Okay, so EmilZy obviously knows he's safe here. He knows he is absolutely fine, and he calculated that. Um, to bait them in, Twig was saying, just bait them, go down to 5% HP, you'll be fine. So we listened to the call, we baited them, and Twig came flying out of the sky. Nate came all the way over. This was an interesting passage of play as well, actually, where Nate's pretty huge. He's level 10, highest level in the game. So why not send him over to the solo side of the map where we're fighting and allow Prime to just farm up in the duo lane where he's not going to get soloed by this Uller unless he makes a huge misplay. Um, so that was another, Prime had died, he was in base. So the only way we were going to have an even fight there was if Nate came over. And Prime was able to get over to the duo lane, stop the farm going into the tower, and it just ends up with a kind of pretty large swing for us because of it. So I think that was a really interesting play that we made there.
Yeah, that was definitely pretty good. Just again, this is like what separates the really good teams from like the average teams in FPL. That is where every team is obviously really good, but just doing these small rotations it just helps you out so much. You saw how we were able to secure one more kill there and just get the speed buff of Nate's rotation as well. And then Prime's like, okay, I can probably just go and take the dual lane farm now because Nate is not gonna be anywhere near that. As we go really hard for the Jep here. I don't recognize we kill him. I think I die here.
Oh yeah, you do die. I remember this because you were like, I was not inside that circle.
And
I was
I
not inside
wasn't.
of it.
I wasn't. But we still bait out, get the kill. Death Panda should be able to get out. Yeah, he gets out. Nice pathing. Herc rotates Odo. I don't know. Did he teleport? I think he did. Looks
Yeah,
like
let's have a
he's.
look. So Maniac has just used his teleport about 10 seconds before Dodo on the Herc, so they must have both used it. So we decide to bait gold here. We know that Panther is going to be coming out of his ult form soon, so we just go on him hard.
No,
Unfortunately, the pluck is slightly misplaced and slightly mistimed. Prime looks like he's going to die here. Yeah, he
yeah,
must do. So again, that was just kind of.
silly.
I'm not sure the Gold Fury call there was the best. But the real bad thing we did there was that Sobek pluck, making us have to try and chase down the Herc to kill him. You should have let him try and run away and plucked him back into the team instead. But again, even despite misplaying, we don't really lose anything off of it, which is maybe the difference between Sanguine and one of the top teams is that they maybe would have gone for a red buff, tried to take away purple, try to just go for gold even. Just do something off of the pick you got, and instead they just kind of wander around the map, eventually go over and get fire imps between 4 people, I think,
Mm-hmm.
which is just really inefficient sharing. So despite them getting the pick, they didn't do enough off of it here, which is why we kind of get away with it.
So what do we have to do to win this game from here on out? Hey, so we got a pretty solid lead. Is there anything we need to be scared of? Or what? Who do we need to focus in the fights to make sure we go ahead and win this game?
I would say Fisher only went, what was it, 2-10 last game, so I'd say he's their real. Oh, this is yeah, that was BS. I'm sorry, Fisher. Fisher knows I love him. But yeah, I think generally in this game we just want to not get hit by big krakens, and we should be fine. Big Gebbles, big krakens are the danger. As long as we are spread for them and we don't allow them to go on priority targets, I don't think there's too much they can do to win these fights. I think we definitely have the better team fight. Um, yeah, I think it's really tough for them to play into this comp from behind, especially with them having no assassin.
So they're gonna start gold here. I guess they recognize that we're stealing the speed buff. Captain Twig is gonna hold over though, while I go ham on the left side. Again, Fisher is just having such a rough time. He's just too far behind right now. He's gonna die to that all the time. Should target swap Death Panda here. Do decide to go for Dodo though. I think that's fine. He's
Yeah,
gonna
it's a
end
good
up
call.
dying.
We use Mad, again, keeping ourselves healthy in case they want to initiate on us, kind of discouraging them from contesting that red buff, and then we just back off and go to gold while Maniac decides to, just pluck the Poseidon under the tier 2, who cares? So yeah, we just go for the gold while Maniac's kind of sniffing them out. Pick that up for free, they can't really contest, and then that brings our lead to about 5k. This is getting to, very comfortable range at this point.
Do you think we maybe should have gone for Portal Demon there instead of going and taking away the purple buff? I don't know if we get it anyway here. I don't know if the free. It looks like they're gonna go for it. But would you like to see me and Mr. Nate to
Mr.
rotate
Nathaniel.
over? Nathaniel.
I think it probably would have been better if we went over for the gold earlier instead of going for purple. That neutral farm again, very good to get off the map rather than it gives you a positional advantage which the purple buff doesn't, and the XP, the gold and the XP that you gain from it is, well, the gold anyway, is higher than from just getting the purple between 2 people. So yeah, I definitely would have preferred us to secure it. I guess we got it anyway, despite the Kraken just coming a hair too late. But yeah, I think that was another very, very, very minor misplay that we made, which worked out for us, but maybe on another day, in another world, it would have gone wrong.
So you see me there, slightly getting caught. I'm obviously, honestly, I think I'm trying to farm some item here. Must be the only thing I'm doing while I.
Yeah, I guess you're getting Heart Ward, maybe.
Nah,
Oh,
I think
nope,
I'm getting
full
full
shield of
full
regrowth.
regrowth. That must have been it. I was just waiting for it. But you can see, I traded out my ult for the Jeb Sunder, and that is honestly not a bad trade. As Damasra's ult is a pretty short cooldown, where the Sun is like 120 seconds, right?
Yeah, and I would say the Sunder at this point is probably their main kill potential. Is if they Sunder someone, Gebel, Kraken, that person is dead. Doesn't really matter who they are. Well, most likely going to be dead, despite the Poseidon going for that Gem of Isolation right off the bat, so he doesn't have too much damage, but they should be able to secure the kill after that combination. And that Sunder being down really hurts their potential of picking somebody off. So Twig just trying to poke out the faff.
So that's their way back into this game. That is by getting one of these picks, and then just trying to at least get something off of it. Let's say they get one pick, they force something good, and they get something good of it again. But we just recognize we have such a big lead. We're just gonna go ahead and invade their boss. Really, not too much they can do with this. If they're gonna
Has Fisher had a
decide
speed
that.
this game?
I don't. Yeah, he had the first one.
Oh, did he get it? I feel that. Did he?
No,
Maybe.
he didn't actually. But he got our speed.
Okay. So yeah, we're just killing him. And Twig's actually top player damage at this point in the game, so he's playing really well, playing around his lead. He's got 4-level lead once again. They take away the speed, look to pressure the mid tier 1. Maniac misses a pluck. We go in anyway.
I saw so many misplucks these games, man.
Okay, another med comes out. So this is a game where we had double med, I think, which is something I'm quite a big fan of. As long as the other team doesn't pick up anti-heal, it can be really, really beneficial in fights. I think a second med can quite often be better than a shell, because you choose when you want to heal your team. Whereas if you use shell, you give yourself protections, which You know, if the other team just decides to disengage as soon as you pop the shell, it's wasted. The med's never really going to be wasted, in
So
my
we're actually
opinion.
gonna. Oh, I think yeah, we wait out for the Amaterasu ult here. Just trying to wait until we fight, and then you can just see me scratching my Q.
We get pushed into tower here. I remember there's two people, I think. Yeah, there we go. And oh, and there it
Oh
is,
my god,
the biggest Medusa ult ever. It was huge.
that was
Um,
insane.
I don't know what relics it forced out. It looks like it forced out two beads, and it turned two other people to stone as well. So we decided to pressure the tier two. The Herc tries to
Oh my,
defend
do
it.
I
The
die
Herc
to the
chases him
tower here?
around. No, I don't think so. I think you're fine.
Oh my god.
Prime to Aegis.
Oh yeah, because Prime took the last shot and he Aegis. Oh yeah, I remember
Follow
that. That was
Fiesta.
fun
And you
actually.
see, that was something right there, where the Uller looked to chase us down mid lane, but because we had the Amaterasu aura, there was just no being able to re-engage on us. So that's another tool that I think people don't really rate highly enough in Amaterasu's kit, is the ability to disengage fights easily. With a lot of gods, you know, you try and run away, they're going to be able to chase you down. If you have an Amaterasu with you, it's just not going to happen. You're just faster than them. So yeah, that's a big advantage that Amaterasu can give you if you play it properly.
As we kind of get the deja vu over here. Twig again pushing down the tier 1 in solo. Just recognizing they can't really get over there. Just taking the small wins is just so important to get an even bigger lead and just get the tilt on even more for the enemy team, getting further ahead, obviously. So, do they go for fire here? No.
Portal's not quite up yet. They'll have the timer on it though, will they?
I think me and Atrex
Can't
are
remember.
gonna try and solo gold, I believe. They do have the oracles on it, but they're so far behind at this point that the only way they're really gonna steal this, as you see Nate just hitting it for 326, 16 minutes into the game. That Amaterasu aura, man, is so good, and we got just gonna go ahead and secure the gold free. Nothing they can really do about the Zeus detonate. Secure on that.
Yeah, so what probably happened there is Maniac called out the fact that there were three people around their blue trying to secure it, making sure that we can't look to invade again. And we just went straight to gold. Despite them having vision, we knew that they didn't have the people, you know, capable of rotating in to fight us on it. And again, the speed buff's about to spawn, and for once we're not on that side of the map. But because we're pressuring the duo lane so hard, um, it's going to be tough for them to do anything around the solo side of the map.
Oh.
Again, another huge ult from Nate, a massive ult from Prime. You know, just the wombo combo coming in there. Really good comms on when we were going to CC them, allowing us to, you know, win that fight handily and just push down that tier 2, getting more gold in our pockets, getting our lead
Not
extended.
misplucked. Oh my god.
Another mispluck was that? We should have a
Yeah.
counter.
Yeah.
You had like a
Oh, I should. Nah, that's too rude. That
Joe doesn't deserve this.
nah, he will be sad. We should do a special episode, missed abilities, Joe counter, and just put like 147 missed so big plucks in this pill. Good job. We're just gonna mass recall here, get the Phoenix again. We get the objective we want on one side of the map. Getting 5 minions also really shuts down any split push potential. So we're obviously just gonna go ahead, probably take Fire Giant, maybe get the Demon, go and push down right, as that's where the tower is. Maybe we can swap mid if we have good minion push. But again, we're just too far ahead in this game. 18k experience, 14k gold, as you guys can see right now. Everyone's just so far ahead. Jeb jungle, bottom lighting the net worth, Ratatoska almost like 3k gold ahead. That is just, it's just so rough for the Jeb jungle at this point. It doesn't really do anything from behind. Right, finally
Yeah, I
he
would
does
say
have the
even
blink.
Geb support from you know, if a Geb support gets significantly far behind, I think he becomes in big trouble. And look at this combo here. This was honestly just like perfect use of our abilities to chase them down through a choke point in the jungle. When you walk through a choke point like that and some AoE abilities come in at you, that's when, you know, you can just, even from far ahead, you can lose the game in that situation. So we just get the picks, you know, back off, go towards Fire Giant, look to secure our victory with this Fire Giant. There's Once we get fire with this kind of lead, there's no real losing the game. We're just going to take the last tower off the map. We've already got Phoenix down. We can wait for the creeps to push in duo, which is what I'd hope we do before challenging another Phoenix. But honestly, at this point, it doesn't really matter. We can basically just do whatever we want with this Fire Giant.
You see a good
Maniac could probably survive against them like 1v4 for like, I don't know, 5-10 seconds. So,
yeah, definitely. The way they're gonna get a kill here is just blink. They're holding someone with a thunder, hoping they don't have beats, but in like all of. Actually, Prime does not have beats here. Do we recognize this and wait?
I would hope so. 10 seconds. He should be calling at this point. 10 seconds on my beats,
You can see
guys.
we're playing a bit further back than we should be. If he does get caught though, then no real punish, and he's able to get meted up. Good Aegis, huge Zeus ult. Nothing they can really do about this. It's just decent engaged, decent fight from them, but we're just so far ahead, so they're just gonna go ahead.
Yeah, that was probably the best thing they did all game was that initiate there. But Prime having the sash, fully stacked warlocks. Well, not fully stacked actually. 71 stacks is that, or 91? But anyway, he's got his warlock stacks online, so he's pretty tanky, hard to kill. He's the only viable target for them because they must know his beads are down. And you know, despite them having a good engage, our lead is too much, and us having fire giant is too much. So we just run in, get the Phoenix, end the game, easy peasy.
Yeah, as I will swap to this real fast. So yeah, that was again pretty decent game. Did we top out? We did get the top wall start the game, so I'm really happy with that. You guys can see
one ward from Twig.
One ward from Twig. Yeah.
Second highest gold in the game. One ward.
One ward. That is not good. With his 614 GPM, it is rough. But again, just another really solid game. The Jep jungle not working out. Missed the first spot. Maybe that would have snowballed the game in a different direction. We don't know, obviously, but just again, solid play coming out from us, knowing when to do what, knowing how to execute our draft really well, and only really some minor mistakes. Priming getting picked in the beginning, some portal risky stuff, but yeah, just another good game. So this was the fourth episode of Overview, second game against Sanguine, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. And me and Mr. Hayzer will see you around for the fifth episode, where I believe we're gonna actually go over a game we lose, the only game we lose.
Yeah, the sixth episode, isn't it?
That's the sixth episode actually. So that should be interesting. Finally, we can talk a lot more about in depth what we should have done. So make sure to follow my social media. Make sure to follow Hayzer's as well. I will link that down below as well. So yeah, I will see you guys next time. Peace out.